Hi Jess! Today was pajama day at work, so I got to represent the Nerdfighter community by wearing a sweatshirt with John's face on it to work. So I kind of got a kick out of that, plus it was fun to wear comfy clothes all day. I wanted to thank you for your video yesterday. As always, I really appreciate your honesty and vulnerability when it comes to talking about stuff like this, and I don't really know if there's a whole lot that I can say to make anything better. Hopefully I helped a little bit just by listening, but I don't know if there's much I can say, except what I can say is that you're not alone. You're not alone in really wanting to do meaningful work, something that makes an impact, something that helps people and helps make the world a better place. You're not alone in feeling wholly inadequate for the tasks before you, even if it's something that you trained for and learned about for years. And you're not alone in feeling unsure about what the future holds, even 5 years down the road. And I was thinking about what you said about not knowing what the impact of what you're doing is, and I think that's a really tough thing that teachers have, and maybe not only teachers, but certainly something that teachers deal with, which is that your payoff is delayed or maybe not ever visible, because your students will grow up and go off into the world, and you may never see or hear from them again unless they contact you or you run into them. And, maybe they'll grow up and be mature, successful adults, or maybe not, but how will you know? And that's got to be a really tough thing. And I do think particularly the job you are doing is really meaningful. And if you are there as a solid constant in all of those kids' lives, and if you just keep being kind to them and show them what a loving person looks like, then that's really big. I think that's really important. Maybe just as important as any content you teach them. I've been thinking about uncertainty a lot recently, and also in the past, as you know from my old videos, and it is scary. And I just feel like I wish I had an answer book. I wish I could look ahead and see what's supposed to happen, and that would be great, and I wouldn't be so nervous, maybe. Or maybe I would still be. Maybe there's a reason we don't have all the answers. But I just sort of wish that I knew what was coming up so that I could sort of prepare for it and be ready. And I was actually just thinking about what I was going to say in my video just a few minutes ago, and I was thinking that going through this crazy thing called life is a lot like flying. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to come up with that metaphor. It's not very original, I know, but it is a lot like flying, because you're going through the air and you don't know if you're going to land safely or what you might run into. But then I thought, what are the rules for flying? Do you remember, Jess? Rule number 1, you need a partner. Now, you don't need a husband or wife or whatever. You don't need to be married or have a romantic partner, I don't think. I think you do need people. You need people to get through your life and to help you decide things and help you to know what your strengths are and just to remember what's most important, and people to laugh with and to vent to and to cry with, and I just think you need people. I'm really happy that we both have that, and I'm happy that you're one of my people. Rule number 2, spoons, not forks. This one doesn't really translate as well into the metaphor, but I think tools is a thing that you should have. Resources, things like education, maybe, books, probably a positive attitude is helpful for flying, and maybe something to keep you safe, like if everything goes off the deep end, this is my plan, and things like that. I don't know. That doesn't work as well, maybe, but I wanted to include it anyway. And the last rule is number 3, you need trust. And we need to trust other people, I think. We need to trust our peeps when they tell us, I think you should pursue this opportunity, or you're really good at this, you should do that, or just when they encourage you and say, you're not as bad as you think you are at this, or your concerns and anxieties and worries are all completely unfounded, which is something that Aaron has to tell me sometimes. Yeah. And also, we need to trust ourselves, which is also easier said than done, but I think you got to do it. And of course, we can trust that God knows exactly what He's doing. And we can't see the whole route as we fly through the sky, but He knows everything. He knows where we're going, He knows where we've been, and He's got us. Side note, if any of you watching at home are wondering, what in the world are you talking about? Just ask Jess or I. It's an inside joke from like 10 years ago, so it's an old one. That's the kind of thing that happens when you have good people in your life, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little life philosophy thing that I just did, and I think that's all for now. So I love you, Jess, and I will see you on Monday.